be right back. I gotta make this run. I'm gonna come back and build while I'm out working. I'll turn my camera to the street because I gotta run in this building. It's in the AZ. So give me a second, let me run in, and I'm gonna come back out and we're gonna build. Give me a second. Peace, peace, peace. Never gonna do it without my Fez on. Oh no. Yeah, yep. They here. Give me a second, man. Okay. Yeah, give me a second, Novas. Let me run in here and I'll be right back. Good. Oh, that didn't even take long. Nope, that didn't even take long. All right. Yeah, man. Out here doing this little work. One more second. Let me send this text. 1 second, then we'll finish building. Hold. Oh, man. Woo. On the AZ, son. Weather changing a little bit, man. When all this ripping and running, in and out, in and out, in and out. But it's all good, man. I'm just chilling, talking to the people. As I made my little round, my little errands for the day. I do this in real life when I tell I'm never gonna do it without my fez on. I don't care what it is. I'm gonna do it with my fez if I'm handling business. I'm gonna do it with my fez at all times. At all times. I'm gonna do it with my fez on. That's very important. For Moors, if you don't identify as a Moor, which is your birthright, I'm not talking to you, and there's nothing even to argue. If you don't identify as a Moor, which is your birthright, after all the history, after all the law I've been giving you, that's on you. I'm telling you who I am, without a doubt, legally and lawfully, that I have a right of a nationality, and you have a right of a nationality. You have a right to change your nationality, and no one will be arbitrarily denied of a nationality and the right to change your nationality, and the claim of child replaces the birth certificate. All that's law. The fez is the national headdress of the Moorish Americans. All that's law. Our fez is not defiled. My tassel is not pinned down. It flows freely, 360 degrees. I haven't took no blood oath. What type of blood oath? Not telling you the truth. Not telling you the truth. That's the blood oath that most Masons and fraternities, they all did a blood oath. Just like when you're in a Greek fraternity, your blood oath is the bow down to the, you call yourself some Greek god. And in Freemasonry, Black Masonry, all that dead masonry, your blood oath is not to tell the truth or off with your head. And they know I'm telling the truth. That's why I continually say this. No problem. The European is not the joke of masonry. The Negro is. Because the European know exactly that he or she is the son of a Muslim. The European know exactly that they wear the fez in clandestine. The European know exactly that there are only 32 degrees of wisdom. They know this. And we're 33 times 3, ancient rite of Memphis and Mizraim, which is in your biblical Bible, but you don't know. And a lot of stuff is wrapped up in misnomer Freemasonry. So I don't put no blame on nobody that don't look like me, because there's nobody's job that don't look like me to teach us. It's us that's supposed to be teaching us. It's us that say they scholars and educators and preachers and teachers. It's us to teach the truth, regardless if it clears a room up or if it fills up. It's on us to teach the truth. It's on us as preachers and as teachers. It's our job to teach the truth. You should never be worried and complaining about somebody that don't look like you, that lied to you. You should be, if you're going to talk about them and it's not their job to educate you, what about all the brothers that look like you, that miseducated you? What about all those lying preachers, all those religious people, all those misnomer religious people, all those black Masons? What about them? Oh, so your scimitar, your pendulum not gonna swing that same way? You're gonna talk about some European and all this, some Albion, but you're not gonna talk about all the brothers and sisters that say they educated, that can read today per se, and they're not gonna teach you the truth? Who's worse? Your own brother that's lying to you, or a European? Not the European, because they're not your kind per se. You should be mad at your own brother. at all these lying preachers, at all these lying educators, at all these lying lawyers, like the Bible say, woe to you lying lawyers that confuse the truth to my people. Woe to you lying lawyers. No lawyer will sit down and have a conversation with me because I debunked all that stuff on college campuses with professors and district attorneys, and I had to be matter-factual with law, the same way I did today on YouTube. The same way I did today on YouTube. The same way our prophet said our own people to put us back in slavery. Lying, wearing the fez and clandestine, talking about your freedom is connected to blackness. Our own people telling us that bullshit. When you had those summits, no disrespect, I'm just naming the people that was on there. T.I. and Killer Mike and all that. They was like, well, what do we call our people? Get me on there with the lawful of truth, and I'll give all law, and I don't have to come from no perspective. I'm a Moor. That's where it stops. The same way Khalid Muhammad said, I'm a Moor. Yes, he said he was a Muslim, but he said, I'm a Moor, and I got sense enough to know I'm a Moor, because your nationality and your spirituality connects you to the complete fifth. You had the Majaris and the what? You had two classes of Moors. Come on, man. So that's what I'm here today. We talk all this stuff about the European ain't teaching us. It ain't their job, and the European copy off everything. I showed you yesterday in the Ku Klux Klan Quran. It's called the Chlorian, the Quran. They set up as a fraternal order, the same way I am. That makes you legal. The same way I am, and you don't want to be legal. It talks about tribe. I broke down today on YouTube about how no Negro, black, and color is going to get reparations. I'm down with reparations too, but Negro, black, and color is slaves for life, and you're not going to get any reparations. So that's how you lose in court. When these people be talking about reparations and you identify as Negro, black, and color, well, you're going to lose by default, and that's contempt of court. And no persons don't mean nothing. That was just change of ownership from one brother to the next brother. And see, these is facts. So when we start teaching history and we start having all our brothers on platform, and a lot of these people be only entertainers, I'm not dissing nobody. I'm dissing what people come to me. It was like, well, why do we think T.I. is some official over scholarship? Where he studying at? Nowhere. Why Killer Mike some official? Nowhere. Why all these brothers, no disrespect, even like Carnell West and them other brothers, they talk about they some historians, but they getting paid at Harvard, getting the money. And you look at these people, no disrespect. Carnell West's wife is an Albion, a European, no disrespect. They had it on Obama because Obama taught law. Obama told you about the Declaration of Human Rights, Article 15, that you have a right of a nationality and a right to change it. So what these brothers talk about when they talk about your freedom is connected to your blackness? Where? I'm not hating on nobody. I see everything. And then when you pull it up, Killer Mike had a shirt on that said, kill your slave masters. So if you got a shirt on that say, kill your slave masters, because I'm not wearing stuff that I don't believe. Why would this man have a shirt on that say, kill your slave masters, if you're not a slave? Because a slave is only here in the United States. And then these Negroes backtrack. Well, that ain't what I mean. Well, what the shirt say mean? Say, kill all your colonizers or kill your masters. Only a slave have a master. And then these slave Negroes talking about reparations and get their goofy ass on TV talking about reparations. And the only person that gonna get reparations for a slave is the master. That's the only people that ever got a reparations for a slave. You must be restored back to your original state before you were tampered with. It ain't nothing else to say. So what these people talk about, T.I. and them, no disrespect, when they go on TV, what should we call ourselves? This, that, and the other. Let's deal with law. Let's deal with the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th Amendment and deal with law. Remove all your feelings. Ain't no person freed you. That's bullcrap. And when attorneys say in the 13th Amendment, person, no, you lying. You lying. Let's deal with facts. Malfeasance, non-feasance, all these law terms that I broke down that I did today. Come on, man. Your own brother and sister will lie to you, and the European agree with me. So what are we talking about? Just like I showed y'all the film earlier, when I'm not on nobody's side, I'm on the truth side. If the European niggas like to call an enemy, then your own brother would be the enemy too when they do the same thing. No disrespect. I'm just analyzing. Just like the Nation of Islam knew about our Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I showed y'all the book that they passed out to the lost Nation of Islam of North America, the AKA Misnomer Black Man. And it shows you all the stuff that I was talking about. All the stuff that they knew. Got pictures with Farrakhan and the Fez. ID in Detroit, where I'm from. The Moorish Science Temple is in our city, which is a pillar. Man, I got a whole bunch of documents. People like to say, oh, they don't know who Fire Muhammad is. Yeah, that's a religious person. But y'all know the documents, and y'all know they had they El and they Bay. Y'all know it. Every religious person know it. And then I showed y'all Founders Day that Louis Farrakhan gave credit to Noble Drew Ali as the forerunner that brought this Islam to the North American Negro. Before some Fire Muhammad, before some Elijah Muhammad Poole Bay. Look at the years, look at the time periods. These people knew. They buried our prophet in a shallow grave. And if I'm not telling the truth, why all these Europeans wrote about our prophet? Why when I showed you Peter Lambert Wilson, the sacred drift of Islam, and Peter Lambert Wilson, when he came into Moorish Science, he changed his name to Hakeem Bey. Just like Alex Crowley changed his name to Serapis Bey. Just like Adam Blavatsky, which these Negroes love, these Masons love, they'll give credit to a European lady, Adam Blavatsky, but she'll tell you all the science come from Noble Drew Ali. Pascal Beverly Randolph, all that stuff that they try to change, the sexual magic, it just perverted Moorish science. Manly P. Hall, all that stuff is just perverted Moorish science. If they was in the flesh, they'll sit on their hands if they was around me. And everybody know I'm telling the truth. I ain't even jumped into high science. I'm still in elementary science. I'm still in the elements. I ain't even jumped into the advanced science. When I talk about Abraham Elam, the Magi, and all those expensive books that people can't have, unto thee I grant, which our Moorish Quran is part compiled and gathered from, our Rosicrucian manual. Every Moor know this, and then the first thing you're gonna diss the science, the masonry, which is the pedigree. And I say, well, you definitely ain't read the Clock of Destiny because you're dealing with the upper echelon right here. I'm not a peasant. I'm not a peasant. I break down the Clock of Destiny, history and law and everything. But Moors say they know how to read. We all should be saying the same thing. It's no reason for us to have something different. How the temple set up is one prophet. It's one more science temple. Anybody else create something, it's their own fictitious thing. The Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School is a school of Moors. I teach, which is my right, legally and lawfully. I teach all law. So once again, who's putting you in bondage? Your own people, by not teaching the history, by not teaching the science, and by not making it plain. Why would a person say I'm a Moor but I don't wear my fez? Why? Why? And that's a part of being Moorish. That's a part of self-identification. Of what? Wearing your national headdress, wearing all your regalia. That's a part of being a Moor and self-identifying. If they say, okay, where the Moors at? And you come up and say, I'm a Moor. They say, how you a Moor and you don't have a fez? And then hear Moors say they don't know where to get a fez from, and they be on my page. I like your fez. We don't know where to get a fez from. All these people like where to get fez from because people don't be wanting to see a person make it. And I say that's niggas. If you a Moor and you don't have a fez, why would you go to a Masonic store and get a fez? Why would you go on Amazon and get a fez? And a Moor that you look like, that you say that you down with the science, produces fezes and produces all the regalia. We produce fez for $125. That's Moors buy shoes for that much. I know Moors right now got a hat on, that goofy hat, that designer mess called Chrome. Them hats started at $500 at the least. And you call yourself a Moor without a fez? Why? Why don't wear the fez? Where you're not proclaiming, declaring, and having due process. The fez is verbal communication, self-identifying. So the reason why most people that say they Moors and don't wear their fez is because they afraid. The reason why Moors don't study because they don't want the truth. They want somebody to tell them something so they can go out and promulgate some bullshit and then get mad when they get in trouble when they try to take that shit to court. Why don't you want to get the Exhumed of the Nation from us and it's $250 on Amazon and we have it for a fraction of the price? Why don't you want to get all that literature we got on mypdfbooks.com and on Amazon? It's a fraction of the price. And you can go to Office Max and Staples and have them print the books and bind them. And then you have these books for life. They be electric as a download, aka NFT. And you can share and you can sell the same book to your friends that's into the science that you into. The problem, we deal with people that's not into what we into and try to convince somebody. And you don't have to convince somebody that can be proven. Truth has no size. Law has no size. And we don't have to negotiate. We must do what? Defend the Constitution. Whichever government official has signed the oath. Every government official oath, I don't care if they a referee, judge, or whatever else, they signed the oath to do what? Defend the Constitution. Just like Negro Masons signed the blood oath, not to tell you the truth. Negro Masons and European Masons. Just like Negroes and Greek fraternities, misnomer black, white, all that. They also signed the oath Or what? To bow down to the Greek perspective. And I just told you, Socrates and Plato and Aristotle, that's watered down Egyptian history. Research Steve Coakley, the Boule, and the Greek is a lie. And then start asking yourself some questions. Don't be mad at me. Research it. Research it. And then I can start showing you all these people charters. No disrespect again. Hey, the truth will make you free. All those fraternity people, it's a game. They don't want to get the right people in office. It's a game. They don't want to. A lot of this political stuff is a joke. Because if you was a Moor, why aren't you in that position in local politics in your community? Because everything I talk is political, and the divine comes first. That got to deal with politics. I show y'all in your Bible. You talk all that religious stuff, and I tell you the Bible is a political book. I broke it down how they tried to destroy the Jacobites and the Canaanites was black. And all I got to do was census and got to do with nationality to make you a Negro, black, and slave. I showed you how it was two classes of misnomer blacks, one from Africa and one from where? Europe, the ancient and modern Britons, the Iberians, which is you. I show y'all, man, these Europeans be lying and Negroes be lying too. I don't trust neither one. Just like you'll have Negroes that talk about they some Egyptologists and they be on these platforms and they'll use a lying European book like Zechariah Stitchin, some Anunnaki. All that shit is false. He's a Freemason, just like the brother, the European, no disrespect, that wrote Behold the Pale Horse. They always try to talk about some aliens, but there ain't no such thing as no alien. Those pictures are what? The Iberian, the Moor, which they saw. Copper colored races. I show you all this. Zechariah Stitchin is a liar. And then here it is, Moors will hold that stuff and try to quote that stuff as scholarship. Man, that European, that wasn't no scholarship. That was Eurocentric propaganda. And then when Negroes pass it on, it's Negrocentric propaganda. All tied in the same. Eurocentric and Negrocentric propaganda is all the same. And so here you got these brothers on these so-called conscious televisions, the ones that call themselves Egyptologists, quoting a European. Zechariah Stitchin, which is pseudo-academia. That shit can be destroyed in 1.3 seconds. His own pupils will destroy that shit in 1.3 seconds. Europeans made videos destroying that shit in 1.3 seconds. And then here go a Negro that'll get on some conscious channel and start quoting that shit and people be, oh, like that's some heavy shit. That's some false stuff. That's pseudo-academia. Zechariah Stitchin, that's a fraud. And then you got our own brothers that call themselves some Egyptologists or use that shit as their main source reference. You will fail in college miserably because that's not peer reviewed. That's trash. And our own brothers will promulgate this stuff and say, ooh, that's heavy, that's heavy. That shit ain't heavy. That's a lie. And I don't care what language you speak. I don't care if nothing. A lie is a lie. In every language. Hold on, 1 second. All right, I'm back. And y'all know that's the truth, man. I'm waiting. I'm getting ready to go in this other building. Everybody know that's the truth. And these brothers get on these stations with no reference. And I said, y'all ain't fact checking this stuff. They'll tell you this stuff mean this in Hebrew. I said, modern or paleo. I said, you don't even have the lexicon, the Hebrew lexicon when these goofballs explaining stuff. And y'all be like, truth, truth, truth. I'm like, none of that shit is true. And people be like, yep, it's how? If you don't got the alphabet, if you don't have the lexicon, the fact check, that goofy shit these Negroes be saying, making shit up. If you don't got the Hebrew lexicon, somebody saying this meaning, they should be able to, here go the Hebrew lexicon, here where to find it, this page in the Hebrew lexicon to see what girdle mean, to see what sash mean. When I show you about kumbaya, when I show you it don't mean no come by here, and it means stand up and arise, the kum, the ba, and the ya. Scholarship. When I show you how 9.99% of these Moors is lost in translation and lost in mistranslation, especially when you'll get a European that's pseudo-academic for your main source of study. And I'll show you that Zechariah Stitchin, that's pseudo-academia. And these brothers use that call themselves Egyptologists. Real talk, all you gotta do is pull it up. These Negroes be referencing Zechariah Stitchin. And I can show you with the pictures, because I told y'all, I'm transparent. I'm part of the Philosophical Research Society. I know all these goofy Freemasons, black or white. I'll make them sit on their hands. It ain't in disrespect, it's in love. And I'll show y'all the pictures of Zechariah Stitchin and now brother that everybody like to hold up the book, Behold the Pale Horse, and they both Freemasons. And one of the Masonic secrets is not to tell you the truth. These is facts. If you don't know the truth of Haram Mabith and a fake ass widow's son, and who's buried in the shallow grave in the north gate, and who buried him there, And why these Negroes afraid to wear their fez, and why these Negroes tell our empresses they can't wear the fez, and the white fez with the gold tassel represent them. But you'll let the daughters of American Revolution, some Europeans, some Albions, some Trelodites, some cave people wear the fez in secrecy and have it defiled, and then here these goofy ass Moors and sheiks, I'm saying it like that, tell an Asiatic woman, tell our empresses that they can't wear the fez. You a fool. And the fez is a national headdress of our foremothers and forefathers. And to tell a woman that they can't, tell an empress that they can't wear something that represent them, that's foolish. And a nigger ain't gonna say nothing about the daughters of American Revolution. They ain't gonna say nothing about the European Shriners when they have the Shriner parade and they riding around in those Mini Coopers, the AKA the Corvettes, and you don't even know the Corvette was a war fleet, a warship on a small frame, and they take all this shit in history, research what a Corvette is, and tell me if it wasn't a warship. And then I get in Thomas Jefferson Quran and I start showing you about what they was doing on See the Shiny Sea, and how they tried to call you a Corsica, a Berber, a pirate, and all in one. And then understand what I'm saying. The European is nothing but a transcriber and a copycat. And a Negro is the joke of masonry for not telling the people the truth. And these Negroes, excuse my candor, that's in these Greek fraternities, man, you a fraud too, because the Greek is a lie. Research stolen legacy. I'm not making nothing up. Socrates and Plato, Aristotle, all that stuff is bullcrap. If that's the case, what college they graduate, what university, where they study at? Nowhere. They have no history of no study. They came to the Holy Land to study. They was killed for understanding the craft, anything that went against the Christian or the Catholic. That was part of the what? The doctrine of the discovery. That was part of what? Come on, the European Oliver Cromwell, how they was murdering all the Jacobites and the Canaanites, stripping you from your name, calling you a Negro and a slave. These is facts in history. And why would my own people won't agree with me and the European and historians? I graduated with honors from not only one university, not only two universities, and I'm finishing my Juris Doctor degree in Indigenous People Law and Policy. And I show you how these Europeans, these $5 Indians try to whitewash themselves in the history books. I even did a dissertation on the truth of Pocahontas and how they tried to change the name to Patricia and all this European stuff. And how we use the laws the same way that a European will use. If they gonna say they them, yeah, they modern, they not ancient. I ain't disagreeing with nobody, because you have the right of a nationality and you have the right to change it. Just like the Russians, just like the Bolivians call themselves Jewish. And you can get their books, you can get the encyclopedias, and they not the original people. They not Hebrew. They speak Yiddish. Hey, look, research the second president of Egypt. I think it was Nasser, what he said in the Time magazine on the interview. I started pulling this shit up. All this stuff I did at the college campus. The second president, his name was Nasser, if I'm not mistaken, said the reason why the Holy Land, Jerusalem, is cursed because God's people left black and came back white. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. And then I'll show you Hitler's book all through the Time magazine, because Hitler spoke German, Sprechen die Deutsch. And I'll show you who Hitler was calling the Bastard. I'll show you who Hitler was calling the Israelite and God's people. I'll show you. They made a lot of films, but they were speaking in German. And then I'll show you how the birth of a nation, how the Europeans, no disrespect, the KKK, they had their own publication. That shit was Eurocentric propaganda. Then I take you all the way to the Jim Crow Museum in Grand Rapids, what I done lectures from. I got all the books, and show you what they thought about a Negro. Show you that slap happy bullshit. I debunked all Eurocentric and Negrocentric propaganda, lawfully, historically, religiously, from peer-reviewed scholarly research. So you got to tell me why anybody that look like me don't agree with what I'm saying. I don't disrespect the Bible. I'm not here to destroy. I'm here to fulfill. I illuminate. I tell most people that call themselves Christians, you have no idea what you talk about, because I know you haven't read the Bible, and I know you don't have all of the history and the science to research every word, to research parables, analogy, and dispensations, to research etymology, to understand not to take things literal, and understand esoteric and exoteric, understand context. And then how you gonna say you got the whole puzzle and you got a Bible and you got missing pieces of the book, and you know it was 18 missing years of so-called Jesus life, and then you gonna let some European or some Negro tell you that these books are not canon? That's crazy. And then when you get the book of Yasher, they put a J on it, but you know, it never was a J in the Hebrew dialect. The book of Yasher, the European writer on the back say this is the only book available of the 13. That's some stupid shit. How can a European say this is the only book available of the 13? How you know it's only 13? So if it's 13 and you say this is the only one available and you got that one, man, you shedding the person light out. I got all 13 and more. Let me give you a perfect example. In the Bible, it talks about prereqs. All in the Bible, it says, didn't you read this in the book of Yasher? Question mark. Didn't you read this in the secret book of Omen? Question mark. The Bible talk about a whole different other books that you're supposed to read before you jump into that Bible, aka prereqs with a question. A prereq is something that you're supposed to know before you even jump into the advanced civics. Just like when I was in college, in order to pass my classes, I had to do an oral dissertation. So say if you was cheating and all that, figuring out the getting the answer, and then they say, okay, you got an A on the test. Now get up in front of the whole class and explain how you got there. That's a capstone. And if you can't explain how you got there, fail. And that's after every class: math, reading, history, economics, micro, history of a religion, hermeneutics. All that, I had to be matter-factual in everything I spoke. So you think I'm gonna let some goofy ass Moor that give themselves a title of a sheik and say, oh, I'm a sheik because they put on the fez, and you can't go in no other halls? And if you a scholar and a teacher, where are your pupils? If you a scholar, that means you under a form of academia, a scholarship. Where do you get your scholarship from? I ain't saying that you can't read books. I ain't saying that, but where are you a scholar? A scholar teaches systematically to get somebody there faster than they can do by themselves. A scholar is a guide that when a person say, what can I get there? I can give you the right things to get you there. I can say, we're going to learn this. When I say, if you want to learn more science with me, you got to be a student and learn it systematically. I'm going to teach you systematically. I'm going to teach you systematically. I'm gonna teach you systematically. So a person say, what should I read? What should I read? Okay, you don't want a guide, and then a person to get in the car and go somewhere and use goddamn GPS. But if you know your person is a guide, a life guide and a life map, you don't want that guide. You want to ask that person a question, and then every time you get in trouble, you will pay a appointed attorney to get you out of trouble. But you don't want to pay homage to a person that'll keep you out of trouble and explain the law to you very well. I'm talking about a guide and a map. I'm a guide and a map. So you don't want to be guided. So you go into school and you learning something that you don't know, and they say you ain't part of no tutor. You need a guide and a map to help you get out of this. That's why most Negro, blacks, and colors don't graduate academia, because they not connect to a good source like myself and those that like me. You can, man, when the flesh is going with me, I'm gonna have hundreds of college students that I done help, that I done guided in the right way as a guide and a map. Grown people, when they find my name in the libraries and in the hallways, they're studying, I show people how to write an APA format. I show people how to do peer-reviewed scholarly research to where nobody can doubt what I'm saying. A guide and a map to get you there faster you can. I done been through the fire, and the only way to get out the fire is go through it. So why don't you want to be guided by somebody that's anointed and consecrated? What's wrong with that? Why wouldn't we want to be guided? That's crazy. That's what they tell us. And my professor said the same thing to me as they said to my dad. And my dad is almost, 76? He said, we are the only group of people that'll let some other people educate us. And when our own educators get it that look like us and teach the truth, we don't appoint them. And then he said, well, and that's when those educated brothers like myself and others, they'll pay us to go to Europe and all these places and teach their kids. Come on. If they sons of Muslims, if you say they know everything about us, how do they know? Just like Hugh Hefner supported Dick Gregory. When a lot of them goofy ass Negroes didn't want to support what he was doing, Hugh Hefner supported him. Research this shit. And you always talk about the European this, the European that. The European gonna put out the truth. Just like my man Henry Ford in the International Jew. Just like Colander, the 13th tribe. Come on, man. And Henry Ford spent millions of his own money. And so here it is, you got a brother like myself that'll teach the truth, and that's a guide and a map, and we got something to argue. I ain't here just reading no books and reading no book, and I don't operate that and begging somebody, because there's nothing honorable being poor and broke. You don't see me in no hotel all over. I have a home. I travel. I have residency in 3 areas. Our temple and school operating in my home state of Flint, Michigan, in Phoenix, Arizona, and Las Vegas, Nevada. I travel all over. In the prisons, in the schools, and they give me donations. Like when I go to the schools out here, my fee might be $2,500, $3,500, depending on the school, depending on if it's in the hardest hit fund. So say if those local schools that most of our children look like, so if they can't afford to pay me my fee, which might be say $2,500, I say, okay, y'all can give me $500 for my time and write the rest up as in-kind service, aka accounts receivable. I do that all day. Negroes be lost. And I said, I'm not gonna do things for free. And I get paid to do this stuff, and then I come and ask for donations for my people, and I can give you a tax-exempt receipt on every donation. I'm just like a church. When I had my temple out here, I had people coming to donate clothes. I'll give you a tax-exempt receipt just like the Goodwill. When people are willingly give Uncle Sam all the money for taxes, and at one point the law says you can give 60% of your taxes to your charitable contribution, your religious contribution of your choice. So say if you owe $1 million to taxes, if you in a high tax bracket, what the law is saying is you can give 600,000 of that to your charitable contribution, your religious organization of your choice, and the other 400,000 go to Uncle Sam. But now you can give 100% to your charitable contribution, because the Europeans been doing it forever. You just have to have proof. These is facts. So why nobody not supporting the movement? And I just broke down facts. Research it. You can donate 60% of what you got to pay Uncle Sam to your spiritual and your religious and your scientific organization, instead of giving it all to a private banking system that don't run the United States of America. And you say you're more and you won't support it. Every more that's working should be like, I'm rocking with this more. I'm gonna give this more donations every month, and I'm gonna give them a tax-exempt receipt. I'm gonna file exempt on my taxes because you willingly giving Uncle Sam a percentage of your money. Willingly, aka willing obligor. Either you give them 0 point this, you willingly allowing them to take that. And then you okay to get a small return, what you call a tax return, and you only getting a small percentage of what they took from you the whole year. Research it. See how much they took from you, Negro, blacks, and color the whole year, and see what you get back in your return. And then Negroes want to do scam shit and claim all these other people. That's fraud. That's criminal. I don't do criminal stuff. We can support our movement and our body by donating to our charitable contribution and getting a tax-exempt receipt, getting books, getting everything, and getting tax-exempt receipt, paying tithe as a member, and giving donations. Come on, man. And that's how we can build our infrastructure up. Man, don't you know if you had, listen, 10,000 more is giving $40 a month. That's $4.8 million in one calendar year. $4.8 million in one calendar year. Just imagine if 100,000 more went on mypdfbooks.com right now and order one book for $700, and you all can get a tax-exempt receipt. Because I'm a charitable organization, tax exempt from the federal government. Just like the Goodwill, just like the Girl Scouts. When you buying them Girl Scout cookies, it's tax exempt, ain't it? Okay, they can give you a tax exempt for a receipt for all the fucking cookies you bought. Just like when I have my brick and mortar out here, when people came to donate clothes, I wash them and give them to kids in uniforms and stuff. I can give you a tax exempt receipt. So Morris can't tell me I don't know what I give solutions. Man, listen, I'm an alumni from Grand Canyon University. I'm alumni for Clear University. And I have more donors on the college campuses and professions than I have Moors. I have professors that give a lot, especially if professors that I deal with is in that high tax bracket, the ones that's making 100 grand, they donate 10,000 every year. And I give him a tax-exempt receipt. And we talk about, he asking for money. I ain't asking for donations. I'm asking for donations, charitable contributions of your choice, which is my right. I ain't out here selling no church dinners. Everything I do is tax exempt because it's a part of our organization. That's the law. I'm tax exempt, religious, scientific, education, charitable. That's all sectors. Research it. Religious, scientific, educational, charitable. Come on, man. I'm a church. Tax exempt from the federal government. We're gonna let all these other places, so if you don't have no tax deductions and you making all that money, so you just gonna give all the money to Uncle Sam and call yourself for more. You're going to say, oh, man, I got to pay Uncle Sam, say on the low end, I got to write Uncle Sam a $10,000 check. Okay, you're not going to give the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School $6,000 and give Uncle Sam $4,000? Or you're going to give it all to Uncle Sam, and you have the right to give at least 60% of what you owe taxes to Uncle Sam. But now the law says you can give 100%. And Europeans been giving 100% to their religious contribution of their choice forever. The same way Donald Trump has. I told y'all it's stuff when they say he bending the law. No, he ain't bending the law. It's gray areas in the law. You can do things legally and lawfully. The religious laws protect you. Why y'all think Oprah gave away all them cars? You think she gave them cars away because she liked people? Oprah gave them cars away because she knew she was in a high tax bracket. She knew them people had to pay the taxes on the value of those cars. Y'all think Drake loved people that much and gave away $1 million? They was fulfilling their taxes. When these brothers go to these strip clubs, they go talk to the owners, they give that money away, they give them a taxes in receipt. They fulfilling their tax obligation. And then these Negroes say they love the community. Well, I'm doing this in my community. Man, I see you in the strip clubs talk about you making it rain. I see you in the Gucci store going live, spending $29,000, talk about they ain't gave me no more bottle of water. We've been in the Gucci store popping tags. We spending the big bag, $29,000 to some shit that they don't give a fuck about you. So don't make videos about this and that and say we do this and don't show it. Show what you do for the children. Show what you do for the community. Don't be on the internet just showing your goofy ass diamonds and you up in some stupid ass store, some Gucci store, and you talk about you spending $29,000 and they ain't recognizing you. They telling you they don't give a fuck about your money because a misnomer black person with some money is just a nigga with some money. And these people, and I say our own people, we talk about, oh, we got to reach the financial gap. Man, it's enough rich misnomer Negro, blacks, and colored athletes, professors and all that can change this paradigm right then. Ask all these brothers that they say they care about the schools and all this, and ask them where they donating their money to. Ask all them brothers that talk about politics and all that in the city that live in the neighborhood where they grew up in, and ask them, don't the local laws and local politics run your community, and you ain't got nobody that look like you in those positions, and it ain't nothing but a damn popularity vote. That shit ain't nothing but a popularity vote. So it's a popularity vote, and the people in your community can run for office, local politics. Why ain't no more than local positions? And I can show y'all all documents when the prophet was in the flesh, people was running political positions because of not only the prophet Noble Drew Ali and the people of the Moorish Science Temple of America. That's why they wanted to separate church and state. Think about it. How the hell you gonna separate church and state and the people that you vote for in the local communities, the ones that live there? You're supposed to know them, your Messiah. So you don't want these people to run in office? See, that shit is stupid. You don't want your minister to be a councilman, a governor, a mayor, to sit in those positions, and you can help put that person there, especially if you live in that community. How? By your vote. What? As an American, voting for what you want. And if you don't have no dog in the race, you just vote for law and policy. Just like, for instance, in Arizona, marijuana was illegal. Now it's not. We voted for a law and policy, which my doctor's degree would be in. Indigenous people, law and policy. So who's the joke? I'm telling you, all law. Our own people don't do shit. And we talk about the white man. This man, ain't no white man got no power. Ain't no white man did nothing that Negroes ain't agreed to. And the African American Summit, Jesse Jackson, and I forget the lady where they agreed to call Negroes this, slavery. That's Patrice Lumumba in the Congo. And then the Big Six. Research that. Research the Big Six and see what those Negro preachers and all those so-called political people that we love, see what they did. They sold your ass out for $250,000. 6 goofy ass Negro preachers sold your ass out for $250,000. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying, because we don't know history. Everybody should. How can the Europeans support me more than my own people is all I'm saying. Because they say the truth will make you free. And then most Europeans, that's Masons, they sons of Muslims. So if they're a son of a Muslim, who's the daddy? They respect true Moors. That's educators. If anybody come out to Arizona and follow me when I go to the college campus at GCU and when I do lectures at these schools, man, the doors be open. People talk about, I go on my own platform and teach. And one day on the college, I make more than a person check as being a professor, dealing with the students and the student unions, because I operate on donations and I give them a taxes and receipt. You just imagine all those college students that's getting their money ate up by getting those goofy ass high price college books, and the professors only using 1 or 2 chapters of it. That's the money they sucking the money from those students. I provided books, PDFs, all those books, so we don't have to eat their money up. You buy an algebra book for $500, a professor only using 2 chapters. And then when you try to return the book that you bought new, they're going to say the book is used and try to give you $20, maybe $40. And that's all it's going to cost you to get that book from me, PDF, that's costing you $500. And you can go print that book or have it on your tablet and help your other college student. and the Europeans support me and give me donations all day, and I got hundreds of students under my auspices. I can go to the Catholic churches and I can go to the European Masonic houses and teach because they're sons of Muslims. Huh? And the Negroes don't say, oh, he's a Moor. I'm a Moor. I don't go against nothing. Because we from the tribe of Judah, lineage of David by blood. Ruth the Moabitess, Tamara, so what you talking about? So how can somebody that don't look like me, far as the you, accept me, and I be their teacher, and my own people don't accept me, and they Moors? It don't matter what school I teach at, no disrespect. I show this all over. I have my own school, Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. I have my own school. That's why I say it don't matter if a Negro can't pay to go to a university and take those expensive classes that you take you 3 months to teach what I can teach you in my schooling, the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. That's what it is. That's what it is. So if you want to get a degree from a university, you should be going to an understudy. You should be going to your tribal school to study, just like the Jews have the Jewish school. You don't diss the public education. I have my own school, the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School, to help you study, way cheaper than where you'll go to a university. And most Negroes will fell out because they'll flunk because they don't have a guide. Noble, no disrespect. No disrespect. I'm honest. I don't meet nobody on the internet. Nobody can come see me. I'm private. You asking me, you saying it, I'm telling you. Nobody can come see I met on the internet. I don't know these people handle. Most people on Instagram, they little handle don't be their name. I don't be knowing where nobody from. Nobody will send me their address, their name, their information, but then they say they want to come see me. I don't trust that. No disrespect. I bridge the gap. If a person want to learn, I teach privately on Zoom. Every Sunday we teach privately. I got members all over the globe. I got my brothers, my muftis, and we teach Sunday school every Sunday privately on Zoom. I have adapt teaching every Sunday privately on Zoom. So if a person want to learn, that's how you learn. You don't have to physically come here. Just like if you a student at a college online, all you got to do is log on. I don't care where you stay. So I don't mean any disrespect to no one. I don't mean no disrespect to no one. I protect myself, and I don't let nobody deal with me how they want. I let people deal with me how I say. A person say, well, I'm going to meet you. What's your this? You ain't finna do shit. Excuse me. I'm not talking to you. I'm saying in general. I set the standard how I want to deal with people. And if nobody like it, I'm fine with that. I'm okay with that. I teach online. Our Temple and School webpage is bbtsciencetemple.com. Get a pencil and paper. Please get a pen. When I'm on a college campus, every student, they have a pencil and paper. And then people be hearing me talk for the first time and don't have a pencil and paper. Well, I say, well, how you gonna learn? If you don't have a pencil and paper and everything I'm saying is for the first time, you ain't gonna remember it all. And it don't be no slander to nobody. And that's why I said we be hating when somebody be mad at faction. I say, I'm not upset because I can care less. I'm not upset. I'm speaking with passion and clarity. And then the first thing, Negroes that ain't had no daddy, or I feel like you upset. I ain't upset, you upset. And I'm not talking about you, I'm just saying in general. I'm not talking about you, Noble. So, bbtsciencetemple.com. Solomon, can you put it all up there in the chat? bbtsciencetemple.com. That's our Temple and School webpage. Burning Bush Tabernacle.ts. That's our Temple and School Instagram page. Burning Bush Tabernacle.ts. That's our Temple and School Instagram page. MoorishHaberdasher.com for all your Moorish American regalia and much, much more. Fezzes, tunics, she-mags, bonnets, all that. MyPDFBooks.com. That's books with a Z. MyPDFBooks.com. That's books with a Z. For all Moorish American literature and much, 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 much more. All you got to do is go look at my past videos that I did today. Everything that I talk about, I made available for a fraction of the price on mypdfbooks.com. Just now, right now, Moors that say they don't know nothing, everybody should run to mypdfbooksrightnow.com and purchase Exhumer of the Nation while we have it for $75, because the price is going to go up eventually. On Amazon, Moors will spend $250 for some paper. Right now, more, and Brad, well, I spent $250 on this. That's stupid. The same value, the same book is in PDF form for $75. You can go to Office Max or Staples and have them bind and print the book. The Exhumed of the Nation is about 500 reading pages, about 600 index and things. So therefore, you can go to Office Max and Staples, have them print 600 pages, black and white, for maybe the max, maybe $70, $80, maybe. You do the math. So if it's 80, and then you pay 75 for the book for me, what's the total number? $155. Exhumed of the Nation costs $250 on Amazon plus taxes. So you got $155, and then you got what, $45 left. You can go right back on there and order some more books, and I'll give you some stuff for free. Right then. Compare every book. Tavistock Institution of Human Engineering, about 4 or 5 bands on Amazon. Judah Trembles on the Rome on Amazon, $900. See what we got it in my PDF books. 103 amazing facts about the Indian of the Western Hemisphere, which is nothing but an outline. It's 250,000 on Amazon, and it's probably unavailable. We have them. The Indian is the AKA the Blackamoor. Come on, man. So, come on, y'all gotta answer my question. Who's lying to you? And why you don't want to be educated by your own brother? That's all I'm saying. I was thinking about going to get me another weapon because I work with a lot of hand-on-hand combat. I got this weapon store with one of my guys running here, but I'll do that later. I gotta go make this run. But when people say they want to learn, you got access to learn online. You don't have to leave the confinements of your home. And that's why I be saying a lot of Negroes be making excuses. A lot of Negroes be making excuses. Oh, well, ain't no temple in my city, but they be on my web page. And I say, you sound crazy. I teach online. I got a school online. So if you want to go to University of Michigan and you ain't in Michigan and you still want to go for academia because they got good programs, and they say, well, you can go online. What you gonna say? It ain't no temple in my area? I just said you can go to school online and be a student. We make excuses. And you can meet me at each year we have our Moors Ball and our Moors Convention. We just had our Moors Ball in January, a couple weeks ago in Las Vegas, Nevada. We're getting ready to have our third one, our Trinity Ball in Phoenix, Arizona, in my home state. Where we're gonna have Moors and vendors set up. And I got so many vendors already that paid me money to be at my event, and they not even Moors. That's why I'll be laughing. Like, Moors is sad. They don't even want to give a small donation, not to only come to an event, to have their vendor table set up and speak a whole bunch of Moors, and I have a web page. I'm like Angie's List. I'll let Moors put their items on my page. If you go on moorshaberdasher.com right now, a lot of the items, I don't have a warehouse, so I deal with third-party stuff. A lot of the items that I have that you'll get on Amazon, my people got the warehouse. I get the stuff through them. That's why I'll be laughing. And Amazon can afford to make stuff real cheaper because it's a big operation. We small. Once we get there, we can do that. But you shouldn't want a discount when you're dealing with your own brother. You should just want what you're paying for. Talk to me, man. I done bridged all the gaps for excuses of why we can't learn. It ain't a temple in my city. You can go to the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School online, privately on Zoom. Privately, because we have the right to be private. That's why I don't teach Sunday school and my adapt lessons on YouTube, because that ain't for the public. That's for my private members and students, which is the right, which is my religious right. And then these Moors talk about it's their birthright. Well, why you ain't part of a real school? I teach privately on Zoom to my members and students. Sunday, we do Sunday school. Saturday, we do our adapt training. All my members got their own business and they operating as a business. All my members annexed their L and Bay to their name. So I don't understand. And people be following me. It's like, okay, well, what's the purpose? Because I'm getting ready to block all these people. No disrespect. People that have been following me, you say, I study every damn day now, thanks to you, I can go to a school. And like I said, people that have been following me, man, my IT guy got everybody named down. I promise y'all, No disrespect again. I promise you, if people ain't rocking with me and don't want to give a small donation and don't want to get literature, I promise you I blocked you. Because why would you come to my page every day? You can go to all that other entertainment stuff. I'm not entertainment TV. This education. Just like if you came to my physical temple, wouldn't you give a donation? You wouldn't come in my temple and walk out and won't give a donation. Most people will give a $20 donation at all times. So why won't we give a $20 donation? When you give a $20 donation, I'm going to give you literature. If you give a $20 donation, I'm going to give you books. Send me a message to my email. When you send donations, it's Goodman, KHARY @gmail.com. I'm not going to give you the exhumed donation and all that stuff for no $10 donation, but I'm going to give you literature of my choice for your $10 donation. I'll make sure you get all my books for $10 a piece. I gathered and compiled over 20 books, and then I'll give you other books that on Amazon that cost around that price that they may charge you $20 and $25. I'll give to you for that $10. I'll give it to you for that $10 donation. Like for instance, they came before Columbus, and this education of the Negro on Amazon, those books might be about like $20. I'll give you that for a $10 donation. I got a lot of books that I can give you for $10 donations, and books that cost more than that, I can give it to you for that, because that's a charitable contribution of my choice. It's a donation. So it don't have to be cheap books. Your $10 donation, every book that I give you is going to be worth way more than $10. Every $20 donation, you're going to get double. So why wouldn't you want to deal with me when you give a donation? Why wouldn't you want to go to mypdfbooks.com and purchase books when you buying books? Why wouldn't you want to go to morrishaberdasher.com and go and run and order your Moorish American Fez, order your tunics, order your she-mags? Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Why every Moor shouldn't be making our platform if we got items and things of multi-million dollars? Because we don't like Moors to be successful? We think entertainers only supposed to have things? Ecclesiastes chapter 10 verse 19. Wine is made for laughter, but money trumps all. Are you afraid of some money? Because I ain't. Because with that paper, we can do what we want to do. We can teach, we can educate, we can provide our own items like I'm doing. We can provide our own literature. We can be self-sufficient. We don't have to assimilate with nobody. We don't have to let nobody take our literature and then put it on Amazon and try to sell it for thousands of dollars. And I have all the systems to convert all them books to PDFs. Man, we should be getting these books, and we'll let the European let me be their God. The European is not the joke of masonry. The Negro is. If they're a son of Muslim, who the daddy? Who the teacher? The great scientist. No one went to Europe to learn science and medicine. They went to Europe. Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, those figures was killed for learning the science. That's why I wear my fez freely. I don't wear my fez in clandestine. My tassel ain't pinned down. My fez and my tassel flows 360 degrees. The umbilical cord is sticking down a little bit. The navel, the mundane ball, the strings around it, the tassel, the 360 strings, the 4 holes, the breathing holes. And then when you turn this fez inside out, it's the Liberty Bell. That's why I say my fez is made with all proper perforations for symbology. You don't see no little cheap ass tassel I done went to some Joann's fabric and put on. That ain't how we do. Talk about who publish your books? Me. Who author your books? Me. I don't need to bring nobody in my contract, no third party. I don't need to put my books on Amazon. Why? And you dealing with the source. I got my own mypdfbooks.com. So why, when more be like, oh, well, can we get your books on Amazon? No, I'm not giving nobody no money, and they give me a percentage over my whole product. That's just like when you in the music game and you produce a product and you be okay with giving somebody 70% of your work and they take 30 just to sell. Not how information is today. Not how media is. Hey man, I can sell my own shit on my own platform, and if people say they Moors, they should support. Why would you want to run to Amazon and get something and pay Amazon, and Amazon give me a small percentage? 100% of what you pay can go right to me, and then I'm taxing them for the federal government. I give back. So when you buy all this shit from Amazon, when you go to the fraternal store, George Lottery, and buy a fez, who are you? What Moorish American is you helping? What organization are you helping? When you're dealing with me, you know I give back. You follow me. And when I go to my city of Flint, Michigan, I donate backpacks. I go into schools and teach kids I go in prisons and teach our brothers and sisters. I deal with our women that's in shelters and our kids that's in foster homes. I've done all this professionally. So why wouldn't brothers want to support me? Why? Especially if a brother say I gave a donation. I'll give you literature. I have no problem because I can do that. Any questions, man? I'm almost at the crib. Just like Moore's go to Office Max and pay them to print and bind a book. Why wouldn't you want to pay me to print and bind a book? I charge the same. And then you don't want to pay a little extra to get an extra taxes and receipt for your total purchase because the extra you pay is a donation. Because you willingly giving the money away and you ain't getting no receipt for your total purchase. Look at this. When you go to Office Max or Staples and say you have them buying a book and say you spend, I'm just saying a number, $100 to buying a book. Say you go to Office Max or Staples and have them buying a book for you for $100. You ain't getting no taxes and receipt. And then I say, okay, for me to buy that book, I charge an extra $25 and I can give you a taxes and receipt for your total purchase. Huh? And you don't want to give me an extra donation? That's sad. That's why I said the European be laughing at us. I'm in academia. And I'm in a red state. I'm in a red state right now, Arizona. Man, when I go to Tucson and Marana, man, when I go to the different nationalities, if I was saying something crazy and if I want to talk in universal law and people accept me as a magi, as a shaman, as a tasawwuf, as a medicine man in all walks of life and they don't look like me, why I'm gonna listen to some Negro? Because the prophet and the angel is no good in his own country. So why can I move from my home state of Flint, Michigan in the hood, come out here as an educator and other people that don't look like me, that think they educated, deal with me and give me homage and buy all my books and support everything I say and allow me to teach their kids and tutor their kids, different nationalities. When I do basketball training, it be paid. Go on my Instagram page and you see when I be at the parks who I be training. It don't be no Moors, it be full, all nationalities, different. And they pay me $200 a month and they love it because I train them 5 days a week and I show them how to eat to live. All the stuff that we say is universal and you don't want to teach the world. Please, then you're not a teacher. I'm a teacher. I don't tell nobody not to go to get the search education and history and a Negro will go in debt for some goofy ass clothes and shoes and a house that you don't own, and then you tell somebody or academia some white man's. No, it ain't. If that's your plight, I'll show you how to graduate with honors and pull yourself out them books as you should. If you want to study academia, can't nobody tell you where to spend your money, and a goofy Negro will spend their money on clothes and on entertainment, and you want to go learn and educate yourself to be truthful. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with it at all. Oh, I bet you if I can get your kids, and I bet your kids go to school, I bet you ain't at home homeschooling your kids. So therefore, it's a certain type of learning your kids should know. I bet you want your kid to go to college. I bet you every morning go say, oh, my kid ain't gonna go to school. I bet you want your kid to go to college. If they're gonna play sports, aren't they gonna go to college? In order to be eligible academically to play sports, don't they gotta have a certain type of grade? See, all this stuff, man, I be asking them more like, are y'all crazy? Especially more that have children. What do you want your child to be? I bet you I can take your child and everything they say is contingent on them having some type of skill or some type of education. Guaranteed. Because they can't be who they want to be without no skill or without no education. Tell me I'm lying. Talk about it's your birthright. It should be your damn birthright to learn some shit. It will make your ass free. Excuse my candor. First, Morris Mason. Why was he so heavy? Just because a person because a king, you can be a king because your family passed that some down to you. Or they killed everybody and overthrew everybody. That don't mean you holy. That don't mean you wise. That don't mean you know how to read. Because I know a lot of Moors right now today that's free. They got third grade reading understanding. Right now, today, brothers that call themselves free and talk about, I read this, they have a third grade understanding. Guaranteed. Knowing they ain't read no contracts. Knowing we don't read everything. Especially if a law is 400 pages, you ain't read it all. And I show you why Negro, blacks, and colored and people think they heavy, our own people. Because when they sign contracts, they'll come after the fact, talk about they got hustle. Man, everything in a contract. You just got to advance. Everything is in the contract. So who read it? Oh, I had a lawyer read it. You ain't have nobody like me to read over to show you where you've been played at, because all the stuff that you signed your life over to might be on page 375 of page 400. See? And I'm telling facts. No spookism my way. I'm getting ready to meet one of my nobles. He's getting ready to go back home. He came to Arizona to visit me. I know we're gonna do lunch at one of these Greek restaurants where all the pictures, I say, that ain't no Anunnaki. I say, that's the Iberian. That's the Phoenician. That's the Canaanite. Look at the braids. They like, yes. I told y'all, I get love everywhere I go. They like you truthful. They know that stuff is fezzes. I can show y'all all in museums in Europe, Moors and fezzes on it. The Moors of Egypt, the Tataraks, Saint Mark, the Tetrarch of the Moors with fezzes on. People know I'm telling the truth. So why are we not studying from me? Why are we not attending the school? Because Moors don't want us, they don't want to spend no money on learning. My enrollment fee is a one-time fee of $250. That one-time enrollment fee, you get your fez, I give you a turban, and you get your 7 study books. At one point, I was telling Morris, our membership each month was $200, but I lowered it. $200 a month is nothing but $7 a day for 30 days. Prioritizing. I lowered it to $100, which is $5 a day for 20 days. If a Moor don't have $100 a month, you can't deal with me. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. It's nothing honorable being poor and broke, and a workman is due his hire. $100 a month, that's all I charge more to be a student. And you get taxes and receipt. And when you a student, I give you books cheaper. When you buying books on mypdfbooks.com, I'ma still give you stuff. So everything that you pay for and donate is gonna, what you get from me is gonna supersede everything. And so if Moors don't want to do that, you can't deal with me. I tell Moors, you ain't got to be a student. You can come to Sunday school every Sunday and donate $20. That's $80 a month. So why wouldn't you want to be a member and donate $100 a month? This stuff be too simple because we want shit for free. And I ain't the one. I ain't never got nothing for free. I don't ask for free. I ain't no slave. I make money, so I ain't gonna spend my money on the shit that I love. Learning, self-identifying, why I'ma play. That shows you that we're not serious in nothing. And it shows you what Negro, blacks, and colors spend their money on. Party and bullshit. Because especially these people that say they are more, where they fez. Especially these people that say they are more, where the clock of destiny. Where Exhumed of the Nation. Where the Quranic study guide. Where the discovery key questions. Where the catechism for understanding the Quran. Where your unto thee I grant. All these books that go with the Quran, you don't have. Why? And you say you're more, you say you study, and then these brothers be putting titles on their names, talk about some sheiks, and then talk about, oh, I deal with civics. That's a cold word for criminal, because the divine come first. How you gonna deal with civics that don't deal with the divine? Oh, I'm a writ writer. That ain't no position in the fucking Moorish science. That's some bullshit you made up. Some writ. I'm some writ writer. That ain't no vernacular in Moorish science. That's bullshit. And I have the right to deal with whoever I want. And I'm saying that again as I'm getting ready to go toward my location. People that don't want to deal with me and give donation that have been following me for years, I'm blocking you today. And if y'all was following me, or more jumped on my page the other day, was like, man, I've been following you since 2019. I got all these people information. I started showing y'all letters and emails of people that have been following me since like 2016. People that was, when I was going live at my graduation, when I got my dual master's degree at Grand Canyon University, when I had all my stole and everything on, they were following me since then. And then you would see them, they making videos lying to people, making shit up. You got Moors talk about they part of my ministry. Some lying ass nigger out here called, what's his name? I forgot the lying dude name. I'm like, that ain't no member of me. Why? And people got connected to me. I'm like, people are lie. If I'm saying something so strange, why can't nobody debunk nothing I'm saying? I did this on the college campus. Why don't we want to give donations and we spend our money on bullshit and then have a problem when somebody asks for a donation? Why? And you get something for value because we don't want to learn. Real talk. More to say, oh, well, more to say, well, we'll do this, we'll do that. Thank you, Noble. Thank you, Noble. Noble said he paid for it. I'm glad you, because everybody do. Because when I tell people they hoarders, they like, what you mean? And when we do things in excess, what you mean? Okay, go in your closet and see how many pair of tennis shoes you have. And if you got more than one pair of shoes that ain't raggedy, I bet you can't wear all your shoes at one time. What, you gonna put your shoes on your hand, your head, and everything? Moore's got stuff in access that they don't even wear, clothes that they don't even wear, and then we'll go donate that shit away. Ain't that a bleep? That's why I say every Negro, black, and color got shit in access that they don't use. Look at it. And Moore's will go buy a pair of tennis shoes for $100 a week. That's $400 a month. No disrespect. I don't mean no disrespect, but if you say you're Moore, you should put that same effort in what you love into the dressing up. So here it is, a Noble be on Instagram every day, you know? Here it is, a Noble every day jump on their page, and I ain't gonna blast them more out. I ain't gonna blast them more out. But if you jump on here, that he done deleted his whole page because I blasted his ass out. He on there every day, every week. Yep, at the mall popping tags, and then he asked me about the feds and being a member. Oh, that costs too much. I said, Negro, you at the mall, and so I followed you for a whole month. Each fucking Friday after you get off of work with your Amazon badge, you at the mall buying shoes and outfits, showing a receipt, $250. So you done did that each week. That's a stack in a week, goofy nigga. Excuse my candor. So don't come me with that bullshit. A goofy nigga will always expose himself. How? With a camera. With a camera, always. Then these goofy Moors be on the internet smoking weed, and I say all this stuff is for public information. And then this Empress, he was trying to get custody of his child, and the Negro, and so they used that. She sent that recording to the judge. So she was like, I don't mind him smoking weed, but he all in the car making videos smoking weed. He drive around with my son smoking weed, and he went to court. The judge was like, do you ride around in your car smoking weed with your child? All this for the record. Oh, I don't smoke weed. I'm laughing. I said, the judge didn't ask you didn't smoke weed, or do you? Because it ain't illegal for you to smoke weed. She said, are you smoking weed in your car riding around, which is illegal with the child? No, I don't do that. He said, I'm gonna give you a chance to make it up. And sure enough, they peeled a video of this goofy Negro in the car riding down the street smoking weed. I do it every week. He's smoking weed. Record. So that means you a liar. That means I can lock your ass up in court for being a liar. These is facts, man. That's why I speak like this. That's why I speak like that. Because Negroes will spend their money on bullshit and be a dressed up monkey posing on the internet. And then when it come down to dealing with me, like I'm supposed to give you something, and I see the same goofy Negro with a chrome hat on. Y'all research how much these chrome hats cost. The lowest hat cost $500, and the hat it was $1,000. Yeah, he lied on the record. His ass locked up. I told y'all. I'll show y'all more is locked up with their name and never come on my page and say nothing. Especially them lying Moors in Arizona. I know too many that's in jail. And then they wives be calling me like, my son or my husband kidnapped. His ass ain't been kidnapped. He a fucking liar. And they use their words to convict him. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Anytime you say something, you can hang in yourself. Because ain't nothing you say can help you when you're talking to some police or anybody. When it's dealing with court. I teach this stuff. So why Moors are not rocking with the science to be educated? I asked Moors a question. If your son was going to school and you wanted your kid to be taught by somebody that looked like them, would you rather send your kid to school and you know I got the same degree as that educator and much, much more, or would you send it to somebody black? Everybody that's different religions that might not be Moors or identify as Moors, they say, I want you to teach my son. I want you to teach my son true history. Negro, misnomer Negroes, and misnomer white people, because I'm doing it already. Because I'm doing it already. They say, yeah, I'll have a Moor teach. I'm a Moor, that's it. So why wouldn't brothers want to support us and help us be financially stable so we can help back and help everybody else? Why we got to talk about everybody else making money and all the churches doing their thing that's taxes them for the federal government, but we ain't going to help the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple be the pillar of this, be the counselor for Moors can not only participate and come to school, but have a brick and mortar. Because we own our temple and school on 10 acres in Mojave, Arizona. We pay for it outright. We have a allodial deed. we outright, we can do whatever on our land. On our land, because we are out of the so-called local community. We own our own land. And then me and my family own 40 acres in St. John's, Arizona. I show people, my members on here, I show people how to buy land as I leave. I'll never be one of them people that make videos, no disrespect. I'm just telling y'all what it is. Different religions like Muslims from different nations and ever, and they'll get on the internet, no disrespect, because people show me this stuff and was like, they'll try to sell you 1 acre for $10,000, and they'll stand up behind some tool sheds that you get from Amazon and say they ribbon cutting, and I say, you doing all this to defraud the people? That ain't no ribbon cutting. That's a damn pole barn and a damn shed you can be. You placed it on the land. So what I'm telling you is I'm not going to do that to no people and defraud the people. If you and your body of people looking for land, y'all want to buy 10 acres, all I get is my service fee for introducing you to that, and I'm out the way. Just like I get my service fee when you in trouble and you get a attorney, and I say, well, you need a legal rep that can give precedent-in-law case attorney that you pay. So why would I hustle people and all these people be getting land in Florida areas where it's not being occupied? Ain't nowhere in the United States it's gonna cost you no goddamn $1,000 for no 1 acre, unless it got some very valuable underneath. The soil is valuable, don't get me wrong, but I know where all this land come from. All I take is my finder's fee, my $500 finder's fee for introducing you to the science. Man, I can show you how to get 10 acres for $10,000. I can show you how to get 20 acres for $20,000. I can show you how to get 40 acres for $40,000. It might be a little bit more expensive now, but I will show you the information. I get out of my way, and I give the information to you. So with that being said, man, I love y'all, and peace.